Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick here. Look, I'm not. Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. Dr. Rick here. I'm not going to be long. Today's the day. So, if you signed up, if you enrolled in the Healing Emotional and Psychological Trauma Masterclass, we're kicking off noon CST, and we're going to go deep. We're going to address issues. We're going to talk about anything you want to talk about on a personal level. You don't have to show your face. You don't have to put your name up. You can determine all of that when you attend what you want other people to know and share. But everybody's there to get something. This isn't a judgment zone. This is a judgment-free zone. This is a healing zone. This is where we initiate the process of healing from those things that are anchoring you to your past. I'm excited about it. If you haven't enrolled, the time is to enroll. Just so you know, in addition to dealing with trauma and learning how to address trauma, learning how to put into practice certain behaviors, certain techniques, certain principles that will initiate healing, how to seek it out, how to engage it. In addition to that, you're also going to be entered into a drawing. One person, two people are going to win something pretty huge. The first person is going to win a $10,500 platinum package. That's a year of working with me, 52 sessions. The second person whose name is drawn is going to win a 6-month, 26 session, $6,950 package with yours truly. And anybody who enrolls and did not win one of those two packages will be gifted 2 rapid change breakthrough sessions. That's two $350 sessions, so $700 value on top of what you're already going to get from the program. You're going to receive that just by enrolling. Even if you don't attend, you will be entered in the drawing and you will receive your consolation gift if you don't win the drawing. However, anybody who's a part of the Epic Realm community, the community I created for high achievers, for people who are striving to do things, that group, if you don't win one of the packages, you're going to get five rapid change breakthrough sessions. So that's a $1,750 value. So I want people to attend. I want people to get value. I want people to get way more than what they're going to invest. And so that's what I've done. For $150, you're going to get what you came for and much more. It's worth way more than $150. The course by itself without me involved is $400. I'm doing this on me because I know people need to have guidance in this thing. This isn't an easy thing. And we tend to approach trauma very casually, very distant, very, I know it's out there. I don't want to really get to it because we're afraid what's going to be underneath that rock. We need to lift that rock because that rock is weighting us down and it's hiding everything that we need to go out and address. And that's what this is about. So you're going to get that right out the box. You win right out the box because we're going to deal with that. And you're going to find that when you address your trauma, things start to open up for you because you start to view life through a different lens. There's a different paradigm. There's a different perspective. All of a sudden, a bunch of things that you thought were threats were actually opportunities. A bunch of things you thought were threats were actually the opportunity to build new relationships, build businesses, build a new situation in your finances, whatever, save your marriage, a whole bunch of different things. Let me tell you something. Everything worth having in this world is worth fighting for. It's worth putting in work. You're not going to stumble upon it. It's not just going to fall in your lap. You're going to have to work on it. You're going to have to refine it. You're going to have to build it. And a lot of that is being blocked by some things you're dealing with that you haven't really dealt with from your past. We're going to deal with that. But in addition to that, there's nothing like working with someone who knows what they're doing for a prolonged period of time. That's why I threw in the platinum package and the gold package, because that's going to allow you to really sit with me and let's peel those layers back. Let's undress this thing. Let's look at it. Let's talk about how it impacted you. Let's look at some of the decisions you made since then and show you how it impacted you. Let's deal with it so we make better decisions moving forward. And that's a complex dynamic of how you make better decisions. Number one, perspective changes how you make decisions, but also on a neurological level and on a cerebral and physiological level, being constantly in a state of threat shuts down your prefrontal cortex. So that's the executive function of the brain. That's where you're able to make reasonable decisions, impulse control, a bunch of things, a bunch of the inexplicable behaviors that you can't explain is because there's something going on in inhibiting the full function of the prefrontal cortex and its executive function and reasoning and all of the things that make you a good decision maker, make you able to analyze and break down things, a critical thinker, and all that other stuff that's important. And you never know it. And you're thinking, well, if I just think hard, if I just no, there's some things going on, and you have to understand how to deal with it. How do you confront anxiety? How do you explain a person that can give you every answer on the test, sits down at the test and gets almost everything wrong? What happens in that moment where all of a sudden the anxiety, the threat, the fear of, all of these things trigger things, and you have to understand what all this means to you. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the impact, but we're also going to talk about how to heal. And you can heal. It's a process. It takes work. Sometimes it's painful. Sometimes, and it definitely requires a setting aside of ego, a setting aside of this self-satisfaction that we tend to have about ourselves when we're trying to hide who or what is really going on in the background. We've got to be honest with ourselves. We got to say, hey, this is something I need to confront. This is something I need to deal with. This is something that's going on. So I want people to really get this. And it's kicking off at noon. Now, here's the beautiful thing. Even if you don't attend, you're going to be entered in the drawing to win one of those packages. Again, a $10,500 platinum package, which is a year of working with me, a $6,950 gold package, which is 6 months of working with me. Everyone else who is not an Epic Realm member will get, as a consolation prize, 2 rapid change breakthrough sessions. That's $350 each, so that's $700. Those who are Epic Realm members and don't win one of the packages are going to get 5 rapid change breakthrough sessions with me, and that's $1,750. So for a $150 investment, there's all of this that you stand to lose. But the biggest win today is going to be to look inside of yourself and see the things that are holding you back that you may or may not have even been aware of, but definitely didn't know how to confront. And we will confront them. We will set up practices and behaviors that initiate the healing process. No, you're not going to leave today healed. This isn't a magic show. This isn't some elixir. This is real life that you've got to go. And that's one of the things I'll tell you. I'll be honest with you. And then I'll go ahead and get off. That's one of the things I'll tell you is that most people want the promise of the prize, but they don't want to endure the process. I have been saying this for years. We want the prize, we want the promise, but we don't want to endure the process. But the process always precedes the promise. The process always precedes the prize. The process is preparatory. It prepares you to be able to hold and sustain the promise. See, a lot of people, if you're not prepared, you'll get the promise, but you can't hold it. You know, some of us can't hold the promise because we keep saying we don't deserve it in our mind. It keeps playing back. What makes you think you deserve this? So even though you got it, you can't enjoy it because you don't think you. So you start a self-sabotage process of destroying what you've actually been given because you're not prepared for it yet. You haven't been built up enough. You haven't been given enough self-confidence, or self-assurance, or self-awareness to hold on to it. You haven't developed enough self-discipline to get up every day and do what it takes to sustain it. So it lands in your lap, but you can't hold it. And then you go through this painful process of watching it seep through and leave because you couldn't hold it. Let me tell you something. You're going to have to go through the process. I want to make that as easy for you as possible because it's not easy, but I want to make it as easy as it possibly can. I want to reduce a lot of the error, a lot of the empty action, a lot of the pretension of. One of the things I say all the time, people say, well, I'm good. So all you got to do to be good is just say, I'm good. That's one of the biggest problems we have right now, especially among men, is we've been trained to say I'm good because we're not allowed not to be. So we're going to say we're good whether we're not or not, but that doesn't change the reality. And in male or female, you can sit up and say you're good, but if you haven't put in the work and you haven't done the healing, the wound is still there. And every time something happens, that wound is reopened or it is re-injured. And you're finding yourself 10, 15, 20, 30 years down the line. I've got people in their 60s that I work with as clients. still struggling with things that happened in their childhood because they didn't confront them. Then they got all of the decisions that came out of that hurt that weren't good decisions, that have created realities and created consequences and created results. And that's the cycle of it. And so what we're doing at 60 plus is addressing what should have been addressed 35, 45 years ago. But we're doing it. And so, there's still life to live after 60. That's a lot of life to live after 60. And so we have to be as healthy as we can when we get the chance to become healthy. I would love to see everybody deal with their issues immediately and come out of childhood strong and healthy. It would mean so much for our physiological health. I've talked to you about that before, but it would also mean so much for our ability to progress in this life in so many areas, socioeconomically, financially, academically, relationally, and so many other ways. It's so important that we get this. That's why it is an immense passion to me. And finally, I'm about to get off of here, but finally, a little later today, I'm going to introduce the next class. And I will tell you, it is one that is probably, if not the second or third, I think it's about the second or third most asked question when it comes to people who meet me. How do I discover my purpose? And so the next master class is Provoked to Purpose. And I'm going to introduce you to how you discover your purpose. What do you do when you discover your purpose? How to access your gift, how to activate your gift, how to move in your gift so that you move in your purpose, and how all of that serves you as you serve others. And we're going to light that up. That's going to be a couple of weeks from now, but we're going to start talking about it today. But I just wanted to let you know it's coming. Yes, for everybody that's always asking, how do I discover my purpose? We are going to show you. But on that note, if you want to get in on this thing today, there's still time. We're going to allow people to enroll all the way up to 15 minutes before we start. So 11:45 CST, 11:45 a.m. CST, you can enroll. There's so much value in this. If you came in late, you need to go back and review the video and just see the value in this and why it should be something that you attend and what you're going to get out of it. Also, you're going to get the recorded version of this along with the written course that I created. That's going to also be sent out to you after you attend. So you're going to get to revisit what we do today as many times as you want to, because you're going to get the recorded version of the course. And you're also going to get the written version of the course, which I've condensed into the time that we're going to do this class to get it to you. But you're going to get the written version so you can just go through it over and over, mark it up, do whatever you want to. You can print it out and mark it up, do whatever you want to with it. I'm going to make sure you have that. So there's so much that you can get from this. And then there's also the ability, when you're able to recognize certain things, to kind of help people find their way. That's the beauty of this thing. Pay it forward. Help people find their way, help people heal, help people become better. That's the thing that we are going to work on. I hope that I see you there. From now on, I'm about to jump off and get to something I need to do as I prepare for today. As I always say, I live my life on full so that when I leave this place, I die on E. I know I said so much that it becomes cliche-ish and it's kind of just bouncing off your ears, but if you really think about the principle behind that, what I'm saying is I'm going to wake up every day and I'm not going to leave my potential on the table. I'm going to use the potential for that day, because when I go to sleep that night, I want to go to sleep empty, needing to revive, restore, rest, and recover, because I gave that day all I had. What I'm doing in that is I'm not leaving my potential and my capacity on the table. When I leave this place for good, I'm going to die on E, meaning I gave life everything I had. Do you know the results from that? And I'm not talking about money. Money is a secondary ancillary consequence to serving your purpose in this world. If you provide value enough over and over, the money will come. I'm talking about impact. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, I hear so much about the bag. I've had the bag before I had the understanding, and the bag is overrated. Now, don't get me wrong, the bag is a good thing to have because you need funds to do things on an exceptional level. It's just the way the world works. But what I'm going to tell you is the bag without purpose, the bag without a sense of identity, the bag without a sense of destiny will have you up late at night. So many mornings I woke up 2 and 3 in the morning pacing, having much of what most people dream about and lost. And I'm telling you now, I wake up every morning with purpose. I wake up every morning, even in dark times when things aren't really where I want them to be. And I'm questioning, how did I get here? I wake up with purpose. I show up and I put in the work. Why? Because my life has meaning, and it has meaning outside of what anybody else can do or impact it. And that's what I want every last one of you to have, is a life with a meaning that will carry you when it seems dark, when it seems empty, when you seem alone, when you can't seem to explain the inexplicable. You got yourself, your identity, and your purpose. Oh man, don't get me started. Look, live your life on full. That's all I can tell you. On that note, I'm out of here. You guys have an unbelievable day. Hope to see you at noon.